Hi, welcome to the Carver County Library LAPSIT Tips and Tricks video. My name is Cindy, and together with two other children's librarians, we're just going to share a few tips and tricks on helping your young child develop early literacy skills. Now, according to the American Library Association, there are 5 ways that are very helpful in developing early literacy skills with your infant or young child. And they are read, write, sing, play, talk. So if you do a little bit of those things every day, you are helping your child develop early literacy skills. And early literacy skills are simply the skills the child needs before they learn to read. So I'm going to work on singing today. And music is a great vehicle for helping your child develop early literacy skills. Music has rhythm, and rhythm is an important thing for children to pick up on, and they do. Very young children will understand rhythm and will start following along. Also, music develops a great closeness. You can play with music, instruments, singing, many different ways you can play with music. I'm going to share a little folk song that you can find the words on the internet. This is a fun one to play with your child, tickling, playing with fingers, playing with toes, and just being silly, dancing around. Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When I am king, dilly dilly, you shall be queen. Who told you so, dilly dilly, who told you so? 'Twas my own heart, dilly dilly, that told me so. Call up your men, dilly dilly, set them to work. Some to the plow, dilly dilly, some to the fork. Some to make hay, dilly dilly, some to cut corn. While you and I, dilly dilly, keep ourselves warm. Lavender's green, dilly dilly, lavender's blue. If you love me, dilly dilly, I will love you. Let the birds sing, dilly dilly, and the lambs play. We shall be safe, dilly dilly, out of harm's way. I love to dance, dilly dilly, I love to sing. When I am queen, dilly dilly, you shall be king. Who told me so, dilly dilly, who told me so? I told myself, dilly dilly, I told me so.
Hi, my name is Miss Susie, and I am a Youth Services Associate Librarian with Carver County Library. I'm here to talk with you today about literacy and your baby. Now, as you probably know, that you can start reading to your baby as young as possible. In fact, the sooner the better, because the more books that your baby is exposed to, research shows us that the more successful they are in school. And so I would like to start with you today by sharing some ideas on building a library for your baby. There are so many books out there. What's the best kind of book to choose for your baby's library? Well, let me give you a few ideas. One type of book you might want to look for are books like, for example, Karen Katz's book, where she has illustrations of large, bright faces of babies. And I love that there are pictures of all different ethnicities, so many children are going to see pictures of babies that look like them and look like their friends too. I also want to recommend to you books with lots of contrast in black and whites, such as Tana Hoban's books. You can see the black pigs and then all the white space on the pictures, and this contrast is really good for your baby's eyesight. Another kind of book to add to your baby's library are books with photos of babies. Babies love to see other babies, And having photos of other babies is like providing a mirror to look at babies that look like themselves and a window to look out and see babies that look like others. Another kind of book I want to recommend for your library are books with lots of sounds, such as beep beep. In this book, you can make sounds with your baby and they can mimic and make the sounds too. Broom broom, it makes it really fun for them. Vroom vroom, lots of fun sounds for your baby. Also, books that have familiar songs that you can sing along with your baby. For example, this one, Old MacDonald Had a Farm. You can hold your baby in your lap and sing and bop along with your baby as you read and sing together. And even if it's not a song, books with rhythm are really fun for you to bounce along with your baby, such as any of Sandra Boynton's books. You don't even need to know a tune to go with these books, but they have a great rhythm that you can just pick up on as you read. For example, this one, oh, we've got these horns right on top of our head, and we've each got 2 ears so we can hear what you said. You can see you don't need to be musical or creative. The rhythm is in the words themselves. Also, look for books that have repetition in them. For example, Goodnight Gorilla. This was a favorite of mine and my children when they were little. And there's a repetition of, in this book, a balloon that is on each page. Now, when I was a young mom, I didn't even realize that that balloon was there on each page. It was my infant daughter that pointed it out to me when we were reading it together. Not only is there the repetition of the balloon on each page, but also the repetition of the words. Good night, lion. Good night, hyena. Good night, giraffe. And that helps your baby be able to take part in the story and read the story with you. They will have, with a predictive text, they will know what is coming next. I also want to share with you adding books with flaps in your library. That helps your baby to improve their dexterity. They can help move the pages themselves, and they can feel a part of, that they're partly reading the book. And finally, I want to share with you adding nonfiction books to your book collection. Adding nonfiction books, books with facts, is a way to help connect your baby with the world outside. You can show him pictures of a bird, and then you can point out a bird, and he can see the relationship between the stories, the pictures on the page, and the world outside. So those are some suggestions I would have in building your child's library. I also want to remind you that there is not one way to read a book to your child. Every child is different. The best part of reading with your child is the snuggle time that they are associating with you. And some babies just don't have a very long attention span, and that is perfectly okay. It's a good reason why you'd want to keep lots of books in different locations in your house. Keep a book in the toy box. Keep a book next to the potty chair and next to their high chair and in the car, because there's maybe just a few moments that you have where you can pick it up and read the book together and enjoy. Make it a conversation. Point at things, name things. If you're looking at a book together, you can have a conversation about the puppy. You could say, look at the puppy. Can you pet the puppy? And give your baby an opportunity to pet it. And then say, you are petting the puppy. And what a soft puppy it is. So make your baby a part of the Storytime experience, and know that there's not one way to do it. You can pick it up and put it down. You don't even have to read all of the words or read all of the pages. Just have that special time together and Make it a positive experience so that your baby associates reading time as a special time with you. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you enjoy reading with your baby.
Hi, I'm back again with another song. Now this is an old favorite called Hickory Dickory Dock, but there are fun ways to play with your baby with this song. Let's try it. Bounce your baby. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down. Hickory Dickory Dock. So it's just some bouncing and some tickling up the baby. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 2, clap twice. The mouse went boo, boo, peekaboo. Hickory Dickory Dock. And you can continue. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 3, 1, 2, 3. The mouse went wee, wee. Hickory Dickory Dock, Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 4. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mouse went no more. Hickory Dickory Dock.
Hi, it's Miss Tricia with the Carver County Library, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to use action rhymes with your little one. Action rhymes are a wonderful way to build vocabulary with your baby and encourage brain development through concepts like STEM and stimulation of all the senses. Children are naturally drawn to rhymes and beats or rhythm, and that's the beauty of language and using things like alliteration and action rhymes to build vocabulary. Children are able to hear all those elements that make up sounds within a word. The repetition or alliteration really helps build that vocabulary, which leads to early literacy and some of the foundations of recognizing sounds in words. Children are experiencing things with their ears and maybe through touch, if you're touching them and tickling them as you're doing the rhymes, or in some sort of other way. So they're experiencing the sensation of touch, and they might be experiencing the sensation of movement, another way to experience those words in the action songs. All those things make a stronger connection within the brain to build that vocabulary. We're going to start out with some simple rhymes. We're going to go through 3 simple rhymes. Some of them you may already know, and talk about ways to use them when you work with your little one to build that vocabulary. The first one I really enjoy is Baa Baa Black Sheep. We're going to grab something at home like a pot or a pan or a bowl, and you can use a spoon or something for the little one or yourself to tap, or you can just use your hands depending on the age of the child. Either way, I encourage your little one, even if they're a very young infant, have them sit between your legs and move their hands over the top of the item and give it the beat so that they feel that rhythm as you're using the words. Baa Baa Black Sheep is a wonderful early development rhyme. In the English language, some of the first sounds that children make are the ma, pa, ba sounds. And so this is a way to really build from those early sounds and reinforce vocabulary and build on that vocabulary. So we're going to start out, I'm going to push the camera back a little bit, and we're going to go, Baa Baa Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 is for my master, 1 is for my dame. 1 is for the little boy who lives down the lane. Baa Baa Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. And I also encourage you, if you want to take it a little further with STEM concepts, when you come to the 3 bags, you can draw the numbers on your little one's tummy, or just tap 1, 2, 3 on their arm or tummy. It's a great way to build STEM concepts. The other thing you can do with your little one, particularly little older infants, we can talk about the concepts of faster and slower. You can say, should we go a little faster? And then go, Baa Baa Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. And do the same for slower. Again, we're introducing those STEM concepts of fast and slow and building the vocabulary of fast and slow and an associated concept with your little one. So rhymes are a great way to do that. The next thing we're going to do is use a cloth or a blanket or something around your home that you can use with your little one. If you have a very young baby, I encourage you to lie them with their back down on the floor, facing you and looking up. A little older child can sit up with you, facing you. This is a great kind of parachute game, but you can do it at home. If you come to the library, you might get to do it with a parachute with other children. Again, we're going to be introducing vocabulary and building vocabulary, but also STEM concepts. So here we go. We're going to do an umbrella song. So we're going to do rain is falling. We're going to start up. Rain is falling. Rain is falling. And it's going to fall down on them or cover them. From the sky. From the sky. And now we're going to do the up part. Put up your umbrella and hold up your umbrella. Put up your umbrella. Nice and dry. Nice and dry. So it's the up, down are the concepts they're learning. You know, the falling and up, going up. If you have a very young child, I encourage using like black and white type colors because the vision is still developing, and so those will be very stimulating for a child lying on the ground. If you have a little older child, colorful colors are great. And the wonderful thing is you have an infant lying on the floor, you know, coming down with the cloth over them is wonderful. If you have one facing you that can sit upright, children are learning about object permanence at this time, and so placing it over them is wonderful. It's that peekaboo game that they love. And again, it builds the vocabulary as we do this. So it's a wonderful activity to stimulate lots of senses. We're going to close with one more rhyme that I love because it involves hands. And as any young parent knows, or any parent knows, that often hands when we get to the diaper changing table are going every direction and sometimes places we don't want them to. So if we use rhymes to or sometimes at feeding too, if we use rhymes to keep hands occupied, it's a wonderful way to build vocabulary and solve another problem. So we're going to do a rhyme that's called open shut them with our hands. And again, if you have a small baby, lay them face with their back on the floor so they can be face up towards you. And if you have a young child who can sit, have them sit facing you for this one. So we're going to do open, and certainly make sure if they can raise their hands and they're a little older, hold their hands up. Open and have their hands open. Shut them. So they're learning a vocabulary concept and a STEM concept. Open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. And even with a very young baby, bring their hands together in that clapping motion. If they're lying on the floor, they're looking up at you. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Lay them in your lap, lap, lap. And this is where take the chance to do a little tickle there, because again, we're engaging lots of input into the brain through stimulation of a variety of senses. And now we're going to creep them, crawl them up the arm, creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right up to your chin, 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 and give your little one a little tickle there. Open up your little mouth. And open up your mouth as the caregiver and try and get your little one to do the same, but do not let them in. So that's kind of the silly part. These rhymes will be available after this presentation at the end, so you can look at them, repeat them. I always encourage parents, we only did 3 today, to find a favorite rhyme and use that over and over, because children at this age, babies, really love that repetition. And that is a great way to build vocabulary. That repetition and the alliteration of the rhyme is stimulating so much in the brain. Thanks for joining me. We look forward to seeing you in the library very soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, it's me again. And I just wanted to share one last song with you. A lot of times it's hard to get your little one to quiet down, so it's always handy to have a couple of lullabies on hand. So here's an old favorite. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass gets broke, Mama's gonna buy you a billy goat. If that billy goat won't pull, Mama's gonna buy you a cart and bull. If that cart and bull turn over, Mama's gonna buy you a dog named Rover. If that dog named Rover don't bark, Mama's gonna buy you a horse and cart. If that horse and cart turn round, you'll still be the sweetest little baby in town. Thank you for joining us.